Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of Minerals Live.
Hey everyone.
We have Phil
How's it
Persson
going?
with me today.
Yeah, good to be back on Minerals Live.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
looking good.
Yeah, thanks, you too.
Yeah, thanks.
Summer is here. We're enjoying some nice weather here in Colorado. We hope everybody is staying safe and healthy out there, and hopefully enjoying some good summer weather as well.
Right, yep, it's beautiful here and
Yep.
around most of the country.
It is, yeah.
At least weather-wise.
Yeah. It's been good. Summer's here, and
Right.
hopefully folks are able to get outside a little bit and scratch that mineral itch as well. We know we've
There you
been
go.
busy here updating our websites and
Big time.
trying to adapt to these new times and make sure we have lots of good minerals to offer to everybody.
Yeah.
So
You've really been pumping it out. That final
Thanks.
call section has been like fire.
yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I'm really glad to see how popular that's been, and we've had all kinds of folks interested in buying minerals on there and commenting, giving us feedback. So if you haven't checked that out, you can go to our main website, just collectorsedge.com, and you'll see a link at the top to the final call page. You just click on that, and it's going to take you to a section that's being updated every week with about 15 to 30 new minerals, and all of them are 75% off. So there's stuff from all over the world, things that you've seen from us before, maybe some things that you haven't, and it's been a lot of fun putting minerals out there and getting some good feedback on that.
Oh, big time. A lot of people are happy with that. So, yeah.
We'll keep at it.
You almost can't even count them. I was going to say, how many orders have we pumped out since March?
Yeah,
but
there
it's
have been a lot of orders.
hundreds. Yeah.
And, all kinds of folks, dealers, collectors, some folks we've done business with for a long time, a lot of new customers as well. So it's been really fun watching that grow.
Right.
I think a lot of folks are at home right now still, and they're not able to get out to mineral shows and to see their favorite dealers in person. And it was kind of a lucky coincidence that before the whole COVID situation, everything started happening, we were already in the process of redesigning our website and kind of pushing in that direction. So we'll keep updating, and we love feedback too. So anybody watching, if you have any website feedback or something you don't see or you'd like to see more of, please get a hold of us and let us know.
Yep. And to any of you out there that are watching and might be a little concerned with how close we are right now, don't worry. We normally keep our distance. This is about as close as we get to each other. And
we're lucky with our setup here. For those of you who've been to our office, you probably already know this, but the way our office is laid out, we all have a very healthy social distance from each other. In fact, I don't typically have anybody within about 50 feet of me these days. And I'm doing my best to stay healthy, and I think all of us are here. We're all taking personal precautions.
Yep.
So, knock on wood, we're all healthy. We're all doing well here, and we hope the same for you guys watching.
There you go. Yeah, I liked it back when I had that office back there as well.
Yep.
It's nice being up in front, but there's something about that
I feel
office
spoiled. I have my own bathroom, my own thermostat, my own
refrigerator, microwave oven. You could seal that door and not deal with anybody all day long.
It's not typically the office you start out in your first job out of school, so I got lucky on that one.
Lucky Phil. He's living the high life here, living the dream. Anyway, and besides the final call, I mean, you can roam around a little bit on our website.
We've got more.
Even pop over to the reserve site.
Yeah, the reserve site has been really popular as well. This is not only a gallery of some of our best specimens that we currently have for sale, but it's really kind of a primer on what we do, our history, and getting into fine mineral collecting. So those of you who may be a little bit newer to collecting or wondering, what's a strategy of getting into collecting fine minerals, I think that this is a really nice intro, and it's very visual. There's lots of videos and photos and things, so make sure you get over and check that out as well.
There you go. You could spend hours on the Collector's Edge and all the different variations.
Yeah. And those of you who may have previously seen some of our educational content we've had on the website, like our locality articles and show updates and things like that, we still have all that as well. In fact, I just put a Detroit City update on recently. Great. So if you're looking to read about what's going on at the mine this season, you can get on the website and click on that. So feel free to surf around, and any feedback is awesome.
Phil at collectorsedge.com.
Yep. Get a hold of me.
There you go.
Love to hear your feedback.
And we've got a great show for you today. Phil put together a presentation on the Tsumeb mine and the geology thereof.
Thought that would be kind of a fun topic. I was scratching my head a little bit yesterday trying to think of some educational topics that we hadn't covered, because I know we've done quite a few of these at this point. And I thought, why not talk about Tsumeb? So we're going to have a little discussion about the Tsumeb mine today.
I know Dr. Hagedorn kind of got to that point. It's like, I don't think I can make it next month. I don't really know what to talk about.
You're
anymore.
right.
Besides all the demands he had at the museum, it just got to be too much for him.
Yeah,
but now you're here to fill those shoes.
Yeah, thanks. Mm-hmm. I enjoy going back and watching some of the programs you guys did with Dr. Hagedorn. You know, he's a great speaker and very knowledgeable as well. So it's been fun stepping into that and kind of keeping that tradition you guys started going.
Right.
And who knows, maybe we'll have him back on board sometime. I had an email exchange with him a couple weeks ago. They're getting ready to do some new things at the Denver Museum, and they want a little community feedback. So
a little renovation coming up, or
I don't
just
know.
A reorganization of the displays.
Well, the ultimate plan is actually a pretty major overhaul of the exhibit, the Coors Hall. I think they're in the early stages now, but within the next 2 to 4 years, something like that, there will potentially be a major renovation of that hall, which would be really cool because it's a world-class collection.
Absolutely.
And Brian and Collectors Edge has worked with the Denver Museum for many years, so we'll see.
There you go. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Yep. As soon as we hear anything, that would be one thing we could really probably drag him in here to talk about that.
That would be fun.
So
that'd be really fun to get him to give some inside info on what the plan is there and some of the stuff in the works.
So unfortunately, we're not going to have any minerals for sale today on the show. So I think I just heard about 50 people tuning in.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. We just talked about all our great website offerings, and I'm going to be adding some new minerals today. So please get online and check us out on the internet. You can also check us out on social media, on Facebook and Instagram. We were offering minerals for sale there as well. And anything you see or you don't see, we'd love to hear from you. And, chances are in our inventory of 40,000 minerals that we have now, we can find what you're looking for. If you don't see it on the website, don't assume that we don't have it.
Yep. We have a very extensive internet management system, computerized. So we can usually, knock on wood, find it. Occasionally things get mixed up. But,
with 40,000 rocks, every now and then one gets mixed up. But we do have a great system that Richard just mentioned, which makes it really easy for us to export a Excel spreadsheet. So if you say you're interested in Sweet Home Rotochrome sites and you have a certain budget and you want a certain association, let us know, and we can send you a spreadsheet with some possible specimens you might want to look at.
There you go. But Steve and I will be traveling a little bit over the next few weeks, so we will not be available to do Minerals Live until probably looks like the 1st of July, I'm guessing.
Yeah,
be the first time we're back on
there'll
again.
Be a little pause for June, but I'm going to try in that intervening time to ramp up the Instagram shows as well.
There you go.
So I was an Instagram neophyte before I started working for Collector's Edge. Believe it or not, I had never had an Instagram account posted on there before, and I've kind of dove into it the past few years and enjoyed it. And if you are new to Instagram, you don't have to have the app on your phone. You can get on Instagram.com, create an account, and you can view just like you're viewing Minerals Live. If we're doing a live program, you can just click on it and you can view it that way.
It's awesome.
So it's fun. Yeah, it's really fun, informal way to do this kind of program.
Right.
And I'm going to try to do a bunch of those shows over the next few weeks and offer some minerals for sale on there.
Those are great. The ones that you've done with Graham are a hoot. So
Graham really enjoys it. Yeah. First he was a little uncertain how it worked, but then when he heard how many people were watching, then he got really into it.
He gets amped up.
You know Graham.
You can't stop him.
Yep.
But that sounds great. Are you going to try to maintain some kind of schedule, or is it going to be kind of hit and miss?
Yeah, I'm going to try to do more of a regular schedule. So I'll send out probably an email notification in our next Final Call email, and then I'll put an ad on Instagram as well, and probably try to aim to do 1 to 2 a week.
Awesome.
So look for that ad later this week about our next show.
Right. Yeah, they're a lot of fun. Makes me feel a little bad about Minerals Live, but we're hanging in there. We have our demographic too.
Minerals Live has been how many years now? It's 10 plus years.
11.
11. Wow. Yeah. No. This is really it's unique. I mean, I don't know anybody else who's been doing a program like this, especially not for that amount of time.
Right.
So Instagram is just a supplement. It's definitely not a replacement to what we do here.
It all works together.
Exactly.
It's all part of the puzzle. And
exactly.
It's amazing, even through all the times that we've had, 2008, 2001, everything. Somehow this company manages to get through it with the integrated approach to having all levels of inventory and just being organized and prepared.
Well, and we're all passionate about what we do. We all love minerals. And we all really enjoy this beyond it just being a
it's
job.
It's not just a job, right?
So that makes a big difference too. I think
you have to love it too.
You do, yeah. Otherwise, you'd be crazy to get into the rock business.
Yeah, for sure.
Once you're in it, good luck getting out.
It gets in your blood. You're done.
Exactly.
Just like collectors, they sell their collection, and about a year later, they're buying stuff again.
Indeed.
You just can't stop.
Indeed.
So anyway, without further ado, you want to talk a little bit about Tsumeb?
Let's do our little presentation today. So we've touched on Tsumeb before. I know a lot of you out there listening are Tsumeb collectors and appreciate Tsumeb minerals. Some people, dare I say, might even call Tsumeb the world premier mineral locality.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't need to introduce Tsumeb to most of you because you already know kind of where it is and what minerals it produces. But for those of you who might not know a whole lot about Tsumeb, I figured I would give a little bit of a kind of an overview today. So the Tsumeb is in the northern part of Namibia. It's in kind of a semi-deserty, arid area, and it's part of a whole group of mineral deposits that occur in this part of Namibia. Localities like Berg Aucas and Combat and many other mines in that part of Namibia are also well-known mineral localities. But Tsumeb is special for a bunch of reasons. You can just look at the species list and get an idea of what makes Tsumeb special. There's 285 minerals. And this kind of hurts me a little bit to say as a rare mineral collector, but unlike many rare mineral localities that have huge species lists but mostly produce ugly minerals, Tsumeb actually has lots of beautiful minerals.
Yes,
so it kind of puts it in a different class for one of these, super high mineral count localities. And what's neat, and I kind of touch on this at the bottom of the slide, is that there's a cool juxtaposition of lots of rare species, including 71 type locality species. So those are minerals that were first described there. And then also lots of large euhedral colorful crystals. And this isn't a coincidence. Most things in the natural world are not a coincidence, though they may seem to be. It's really a combination of complex geochemistry and a huge oxidation zone. And I'm going to explain a little bit what an oxidation zone is that created this really unique deposit.
Do you want to go to the next slide, or do you want to chat a little bit? Okay.
No, let's move along here, and I'll kind of incorporate this into the next slide. So this is a map. This may be a little bit hard to see, but basically what you see here is that little red square is kind of showing the general region that Tsumeb is in Namibia. So we're kind of in the northeastern part of the country, Namibia, and what that lower right section is showing some of the rock types that we have in the area. And the main thing to take away there is that basically that's dominated by a really thick sequence up to 6,700 meters thick. So that's over a 6 kilometer thick sequence of carbonate rocks. So we're talking about limestones and dolomites, and a lot of the same rock types that we see in the central part of the U.S. are Mississippi Valley type deposits that we all love that produce beautiful fluorites and calcites and things. You could imagine kind of a similar geologic environment to a certain extent in Namibia. And the actual ore deposit itself at Tsumeb is basically a pipe. And when we go to the next slide, I'll talk a little bit more about that. We can skip to that one actually.
You want to? Okay.
Yeah. And I'll show folks a little.
There we go.
Oh, there we go. Okay. This is actually, let's skip one more forward.
One more, okay.
Yeah, I thought I had reordered these, but we'll skip forward and then we'll go back.
Okay.
So what you're looking at here is a cross section of the main deposit at Tsumeb, and you can see the blue and the red there. Those are some of our actual ore minerals, so sulfide ores and also oxide ores. And these are steeply dipping. They're kind of in a pipe-like body, and these go down really deep. That scale there on the right, you can't really see it, but that's about 2,000 meters or so. So we're talking, big extent from top to bottom. And basically, the idea is that this pipe is cutting through these carbonate rocks, these limestones and dolomites, and it probably exploited what we call paleokarst. So when you guys think of caves and cave environments, we think of caves as being relatively young or kind of forming all the time, but this is actually happening in geologic time too. So as these rocks get exposed and groundwater and things percolate down, we can have caves forming shortly after these rocks form back in the Precambrian. So what we think happened is that the ground was kind of prepared in a sense to be mineralized by caves forming back in the Precambrian time, shortly after the rocks formed. And then when the whole region was metamorphosed a couple of 100 million years later, that's when the ore deposit actually formed. So it's still a little ambiguous how the primary ores at Tsumeb, the sulfide ores, actually originated. But we believe it was related to this regional metamorphism, this igneous and metamorphic activity that was happening in this whole part of Namibia. and that may have provided some of the heat to bring up these fluids from below. And this kind of vertical karst cave system provided the perfect channel for these fluids to go up into. So when you guys think about any mineral deposit, you need a source, obviously, for the metals. You need a way to channel those so that they don't just get distributed, and then you need a trap. So think about those elements, and this is the same for oil. This is the same for copper, gold, whatever.
Right.
When you take those elements into consideration, that's what forms our mineral deposit. So that kind of the takeaway here is that Tsumeb is simple in a certain sense, but it's also very complicated. And the biggest question with Tsumeb right now is, where did these metals actually originate from? Where did these fluids that form the ore deposit come from? That part we're not really sure on yet. So this goes into a little bit more geology. I'm not going to get into all this, but the big takeaway here is the oxide zones that I mentioned earlier. So most mineral deposits that have sulfide ores are zoned vertically. So down the deep part of the deposit, you have your primary sulfide ores, and those are the original minerals that form. And then closer to the surface, where you're above the water table, you have your so-called oxide ores, and this is where all our beautiful, colorful secondary minerals come from. You oxidize those sulfide minerals, and I'm part of a small group of weirdos that also likes the black sulfide minerals almost as much as I like the oxide minerals. So we hope that not all of them oxidize. Yeah, Richard's nodding. He's seen some of my black ugly minerals.
We don't have any problem when we go to a show together.
Yeah, we're not competing.
No.
Different spheres. So, but luckily for everybody else, Tsumeb got oxidized super deep. So there's 3 different oxidation zones, and these go down all the way to the 30th or 35th level of the mine. So.
Wow.
That really created a unique situation where normally you only have minerals like smithsonite and cerussite, in the first couple levels of a mine. But at Tsumeb, you were 1,000 meters down, and you were still finding these minerals. So that really is why we see such a bonanza of these minerals at Tsumeb.
That's pretty amazing.
So enough about geology. I thought I'd go through some nice photo slides here.
Why not?
The first slide here is some of the real classics that a lot of you are familiar with from Tsumeb. These are all collector's edge specimens. On the left, we have a beautiful cerussite from the Proctor collection with a little bit of malachite. I love that combination, and Tsumeb is really famous for these combinations of really colorful minerals. Many deposits you get one species maybe with one other matrix mineral, but at Tsumeb it's not uncommon to see combinations of 2, 3, 5 different minerals, all in good crystals on matrix.
Right.
So nice cerussite there. We've got a calcite in the upper left with, I believe, some duftite and malachite inclusions. Azurite, it's really kind of a matter of opinion, I guess, if you consider Tsumeb the world's best azurite locality. Milpius has been giving Tsumeb a tough run for its money lately. Yeah. So some people still prefer Tsumeb. I don't know. It really, yeah.
Just have one of each. And
just have one
okay.
of each, exactly. And luckily we have both. So we have great Milpius and great Tsumeb at the moment. But they're also fairly different. This blocky habit that you see in this photo in the upper left there, that's real classic for Tsumeb. You don't, the one in the middle is actually a little bit of an outlier. That's from the Proctor collection with these smaller, more lustrous crystals. I haven't seen that quite as commonly from Tsumeb.
Sure.
Smithsonites, everybody loves Smithsonites from Tsumeb. You can have all different color Smithsonites: Cuprian, Cobaltian, Manganoan, Cadmian. Any different color Smithsonite you can imagine occurs from Tsumeb.
Right.
Rare species as well. So this is a handful of specimens from our friend Scott Rudolph in New York. Wow. He has one of the best Tsumeb collections out there. This is from his MinRec supplement section. I think it came out about 5 years ago or so. But just some outstanding specimens. I love this double pseudomorph on the upper left. This is a really cool piece. So it's malachite after azurite that's then been replaced by rosazite.
Amazing.
And they're super sharp crystals. So, really a kind of a unique thing for Tsumeb. Olivenite in the lower left. This is a world-class specimen for the species. Same thing for the lead hillite. Those are over 10 centimeter crystals, so huge lead hillite crystals. And, even relatively common minerals, Tsumeb manages to make them weird, so to speak. So this aragonite, this is actually a lead-rich variety of aragonite, people call tarnowitzite. Really good example of that. Upper right, this is a mimetite from the famous gem mimetite pocket. A lot of people consider these the best mimetites in the world. Really completely gem transparent mimetite crystals. And lower right is a specimen of a mineral called Andy Robertsite, and this rock actually has a cool story. This originally belonged to my friend Steve Kitums in New Jersey. He's a dentist in New Jersey and a big Franklin mineral collector. And he acquired this specimen. It was mislabeled as another mineral. And he recognized it was something weird. So he showed it to Bill Pinch, who's a famous Tsumeb collector. And Bill recognized it as something unknown and interesting. So he traded my friend Steve a nice zincite crystal from Franklin and had it analyzed, and turned out to be a new mineral. And an aesthetic one at that. You know, we
sure
talked about, as much as I love my uglies, unfortunately most rare, especially new minerals these days, tend to be pretty ugly and pretty small crystals. So this is a cool example of a world-class, you know, crystallized rare mineral and a new species too.
There you go. And that last slide opened an opportunity to go back into our archives and watch one of Phil's shows on pseudomorphing.
Oh, yeah,
so you can understand how that process works.
Yep. So, I forgot about that. Yeah, we did a special on pseudomorphs, I think about 1.5 years ago.
Right.
And, you can go back on Ustream. I think it's all archived there, and you can click on any past episodes. So just go down through the list, and if you want to know how that guy formed, I think we talked about that.
Yep. All right.
So I would be remiss if I didn't talk about some rare minerals too.
Okay.
I got the carrot and the stick there. I showed you guys the beautiful specimens first, and now we're going to talk about the rare species. Most of the rare species at Tsumeb are arsenates. So many localities have a kind of signature group of minerals that form because of the chemistry of that deposit. And at Tsumeb and also the Ojuela mine in Mexico, it's all about the arsenates. And, that ranges from common arsenates that we all know, like adamite, to some super weird things. On the left, we have scordite crystals that have inclusions of a weird species called bedpagcolite. And, this is a cool example of a fairly well-known species with a super rare mineral that's actually included inside of it. And all of these are from the Bill Pinch collection. Bill did work on a lot of these specimens and analyses and things. Schneider Honite is in the left there. I think that's named after a mine captain or a foreman at the Tsumeb mine back in the day. Tsumeb was part of the German Southwest Africa for a long time. So you see a lot of German names associated with early Tsumeb.
Right.
And some weird unpronounceable mineral names like that. Yep. And we've got some other weird things here too. Ferrotobiite. That's actually a primary sulfide, so not all these are arsenates. There's some weird sulfides as well. There's a lot of minerals that contain unusual elements at Tsumeb. Germanium is a fairly rare element worldwide, but at Tsumeb we have a dozen or so germanium minerals, which is pretty cool, including some really weird things like germanium sulfates and carbonates and things like that. So, to me as a collector, but also somebody interested in geochemistry, it's cool to look at the chemistry of these minerals, and we can get an idea of all these crazy processes that are going on at Tsumeb to produce these secondary minerals.
Right.
On the right is a rhynorite specimen. That's another arsenate. And on the lower middle there is a mineral called waraconite. And this was actually on the cover of the Min Rec. This is a really superb example of the species, probably the best example of the species. It's about a 5-centimeter specimen, and I know many Tsumeb aficionados would kill to have this rock.
Gotcha.
And some of the other weird ones shown here.
Gotcha. Well, thanks, Phil.
Sure. Yeah. That was a little bit of a quick flyover. But hopefully you guys enjoyed that, and I will give a brief shout out to Tsumeb.com. I got a number of those slides and illustrations from Tsumeb.com. It's a great website put together by some of our friends over in the UK, and also Malcolm Southwood in Australia has been part of that.
Right.
So if you want to learn more about Tsumeb, definitely check out Tsumeb.com. It's a good resource. And if you want to shop Tsumeb minerals, we have quite a few good ones listed on our website right now.
There you go. Good plug.
Get on there and check it out.
Absolutely. And it really helps doing these episodes with you to bring a little more science back into it. So many collectors today don't know anything about it. It's just all about pretty rocks.
Well, and I love pretty rocks too, and it's an important part of the hobby. Appreciating these things as beautiful aesthetic objects. But what's cool these days is that the internet has kind of leveled the playing field, in my opinion. It used to be back in the day, unless you had a geology degree or you had access to a lot of books, good luck learning all this stuff. But now I think anybody who's interested and has a curious mind can go out there and use the internet. Hopefully things like this are helpful, and other things online, and just start doing some digging, and it'll enrich your collection. It will enrich your appreciation of what you collect.
For sure. My limited exposure to field collecting has given me a
Yeah,
far greater appreciation to how rare these things really
Absolutely.
are.
Yeah.
How hard they are to find.
Yeah,
So,
everybody
you wonder
should
why
get
they
out
cost so
and
much.
Try finding one. Yeah,
Right. Right. Go out and find one. Good luck.
Indeed.
It's like Graham harps over and over. Rocks don't cost enough. You should see how much money they're burning through up at the Detroit City Mine.
Yeah.
But that's a subject for another show.
We'll do a Detroit City update
Right.
later this summer. We'll definitely do a Detroit City update, and hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll have some roto.
There you go.
To show you guys then.
That might be a good subject for July 1st show, because I won't have much time to put anything together. I'll be lucky if I'm back by the 29th of June. So.
Yeah, no, I'll rig something up, and maybe I can get the man himself, Mr. Sutton, on here, and we can hear it from the horse's mouth.
That sounds like a great plan. By then, we shouldn't be any problem having 3 people in the set again.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Exactly.
Well, thanks again, Phil.
Yeah, thanks, Rich.
Good luck.
That was fun.
Yep.
And stay safe out there, everyone. And look for us on Instagram and on the internet in the next couple weeks.
Sounds good. Take care, everyone, and we'll see you July 1st.
See you soon.
Take care.